I grabbed it, slipped it into my backpack, and closed the locker. As I turned to leave, a voice echoed down the quiet hallway. "You aren't Leo Vance." I stopped. Standing at the end of the corridor was a girl. She was wearing the school uniform, but her tie was loose, and her dark hair was messy. She had a sharp, calculating look in her eyes. I recognized her from the video on Leo's phone. She was the disfigured girl. The one they had forced Leo to kiss. Up close, the scarring on the left side of her face was severe, a burn mark that stretched from her cheekbone to her jawline. I tensed, preparing for a fight, my hand instinctively drifting toward the pocket where I kept the nail. "Relax," she said, raising her hand slightly to show she wasn't a threat. "I saw what you did to Brandon and Jared this morning. Leo wouldn't hurt a fly. He couldn't even throw a punch without apologizing." She walked closer, her gaze scanning my face, looking for the differences that only someone who had truly paid attention would notice. "Who are you?" she asked softly. "I'm Cole," I replied, deciding there was no point in lying to her. "Leo was my brother." She closed her eyes, a look of profound, agonizing sadness washing over her scarred face. "He's dead," I said, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. "He jumped last night." A single tear slipped down her cheek, tracing the edge of her scar. She didn't sob like Amber. Her grief was quiet, deep, and heavy. "He was the only one in this miserable school who treated me like a human being," she whispered, looking down at the floor. "When they forced him in the video, he kept whispering that he was sorry. He took a beating so they wouldn't hit me." My chest tightened. "That was my brother. Kind, gentle, and utterly selfless until the very end." She looked back up at me, her eyes hardening into a fierce, determined glare. "My name is Maya," she said, her voice steady, "and if you're here to burn this place to the ground, I want to help you." I looked at her. A scarred outcast, and a ruthless mercenary. "I'm going to destroy Tristan and his father," I told her. "I have the financial records. But I need access to the school's broadcast system. I'm going to play the evidence during the morning assembly tomorrow. I need everyone to see what they did to him." Maya nodded, a dark, vengeful smile touching her lips. "The broadcast room is secured with biometric locks. Only the principal and the head of security have access." "Then we're going to have to pay the principal a visit tonight," I said, adjusting the straps of my backpack. "I know where he lives," Maya said, turning to lead the way down the hall. We were halfway to the stairwell when the blaring sound of the fire alarm suddenly echoed through the building. Flashing strobe lights painted the hallway in chaotic bursts of red and white. An automated voice blasted over the intercom. "Lockdown initiated. Armed intruder reported on campus. All students remain in your classrooms. Lockdown initiated." I froze. Tristan hadn't kept his mouth shut. He had called his father. And his father didn't send lawyers. He sent heavily armed professionals. I heard the heavy,
he said, his voice